I want to start with Anna a little bit, but kind of before we do that, you got to know who was here before Anna, and that was Jill Pike. So now the roles are a little different. For a while they were the same. Now they're very different. Everybody's had 28 different hats on at TYT. So can we pull up Jill's picture real quick? She got invited to speak at LMU, where she graduated from one day, and this is the like little postcard or whatever they did for the invite. And I remember she was so proud, and I was proud for her that she got to go back to her alma mater to give a speech about being, a successful person in media. And what is that, from 2011? No, 2000 when? 7? I can't.
The picture says 2002, but
yeah.
That's right. Wow.
2007 is when I joined TYT, and by the end of 2007, Jill Pike was on her way to Washington D.C. with a new job.
Yeah. So there's 3 different ways that Anna wouldn't have been here, and then God knows what would have happened, right? One is if JR hadn't taken that 2-week vacation, which we were kidding around in the last segment, felt like 13 weeks to us because nobody took vacations at TYT. And then JR took 2 weeks off. We're like, how are we going to survive? We might collapse, right? And so we got a recommendation from Anna's coworker at CBS Radio, and she got connected that way. But it was to replace JR. So at that time, or at least for those 2 weeks, Anna was going to produce like JR did. So she came in as a producer. And then if Jill hadn't left, you certainly wouldn't have had as big a role on air in the beginning for sure. And then I don't know how long you would have stayed, because she was doing similar segments to you back then, right?
Yeah,
keeping it real. So if Jill hadn't decided to go to Washington and work for, at the time, Third Way, it still stings. Anyway,
what a random dig. How about not bring politics into this? Jesus.
No. I'm kidding around. I love Jill. I hate Third Way, but that's a different thing. But it's part of how much I love Jill that I didn't want her to work at Third Way, and I didn't want her to leave, right?
Yeah. Jill was awesome. Can I just say, Jill was one of the most welcoming, warm, kind-hearted, funny. Like, she cracked me up. She was the best. I love Jill. And I remember when one of my very first on-air appearances with the network, with the show, I guess, was when Jill was hosting, the entertainment portion of the programming, and she brought me on, and I was like, this isn't allowed. I have not paid my dues yet, because I'd been working this radio, and everything is about like, you're nothing, you just graduated college, you're nothing, like nonstop, you're nothing at CBS Radio. I hated working there as an assistant producer. They treat you like absolute crap. And so I was like, why are these people so nice to me? And why are they so welcoming? And why are they? Look at how cute I am.
Baby Anna.
I am a little baby. Baby set. I was a girl. Like, look at me. I'm a little girl. I was so excited. I was so excited, and I loved it. And Cenk, to answer your question, if Jill hadn't have left, I don't know exactly what my role would be at TYT, but I guarantee you I would still be at TYT in some way, because it just felt right. Like, it's hard to explain it, but I remember my first day. The show starts at like 3 a.m, so I had to be in the office at 2:30 in the morning. Dave Kohler greets me downstairs in the parking lot and walks me up the stairs to where our studio was. And there was like the biggest human feces ever. Like, it was disgusting. I see it in the stairwell. I'm like, what is this? Like, what am I doing? And is this guy gonna kill me? And then he brings me into like this dark studio and was like, yeah, follow me here. I'm gonna show you how to turn on the lights for the set. And he walks behind the set. It's super dark. And I'm like, yeah, I'm walking behind the set right now. What am I doing? Why am I doing this? This is how people die, but I don't have the guts to say, no, I'm not gonna walk behind this dark set with you. But Dave, of course, is such a great guy. And he just literally showed me how to turn on the set and was like, hey, this is what you do. And then you do this and that, blah, 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 whatever. And then I was like, okay, I'm never gonna come back. This is it, it's over. This is the first and final day I'll be here. But then Cenk comes in, he's a mess. Like the show is about to start in 30 seconds. He's like, he's almost disheveled if I remember correctly, right? Because it's 3 in the morning.
You remember correctly.
Yeah, it's 3 in the morning. He's got a huge stack of papers. He's all disorganized. I'm like, what am I doing with my life? What am I doing with my life? Why am I here at 3 in the morning? This is awful. Then he sits down and he just goes to work, goes after the Bush administration so aggressively, so transparently, no censorship, no filter, no nothing. And I was like, yes, just listening to it was cathartic. And it was so different from anything else in the media landscape at that time. Like CBS radio was, sorry, I'm totally ranting because I've been drinking. So I will stop in a second. CBS radio was, oh, the news writers come in. The news writers come in. They literally take printouts from The Wire, right? Either the Associated Press or Reuters. They just rewrite what they read in the Wire. And then some anchor shows up 5 minutes before the newscast, 15 minutes if they're a real hard worker, and they just read what someone else wrote for them. And I'm like, wow, that's what I'm gonna aspire to do. That's the highest position in this company, and I hate it. But at TYT, it wasn't about what's the highest position. It just felt like we were doing something that was worth it. And so I would have found a way to stay, even if I didn't end up doing what I'm doing right now.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.